Hi guys, this is Sky Norse for the Skylights on SportsWalk.com, giving you your live post-game report from AT&T Stadium and the Cowboys versus the Rams. The Cowboys won 31-7 today against the St. Louis Rams, go to 2-1. The Rams go to 0-3. The Cowboys played very, very well defensively today. They only gave up 18 yards in the first half against the Rams. They gave up 232 overall, so very outstanding day defensively for the Cowboys. Tony Romo played well. He was 17 for 24, 210 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. But the real bright spot for the Cowboys, more than anything, and this is something they needed to fix this week, period, was the rushing attack. DeMarco Murray had 175 yards on 26 carries and had a 6.7 yards per carry average. He was outstanding today. Just was able to run all over the St. Louis defense. And yes, St. Louis's defense is not very good. That's true. They're not one of the best defenses in the NFL. But nonetheless, after last week's performance in Kansas City, the way they ran the ball last week, it was just a catastrophe. It was atrocious watching them try to run the ball. And Tony Romo was passing the whole game, and their offense was too predictable. And that's always been the Cowboys' problem. That's why Tony Romo, along with mistakes from his supporting cast, has so many interceptions because he just threw too much. Quarterbacks that throw too much, even the best ones, even Drew Brees for that matter, even Brett Favre, I want to remind you, has the all-time leader in interceptions. The more pass attempts you have, bottom line, the more interceptions you're going to have because your offense just becomes too predictable. So this was very, very good, and it's kind of odd that this was against the Rams again because DeMarco Murray set a Cowboys rookie rushing record against the Rams last time. So that was just a fantastic day for DeMarco. Des Bryant had a touchdown catch. He didn't have too big of a day overall, but he did have that touchdown catch, so that was really big. He had, in total he had 38 yards, 4 receptions, and a touchdown. Actually, Jason Witten was the Cowboys' leader in receiving yards and receptions with 5 receptions for 67 yards. Dwayne Harris, Gavin Escobar, and Des Bryant had the receiving touchdowns, though. And Gavin Escobar, how about that? The rookie tight end from San Diego State, and who many people questioned was even a good pick at the second round. I know most certainly I did. I thought even their first round pick, Travis Frederick, was a very questionable pick. Him getting that touchdown today is very key, I think, for his development and for him being better integrated into this offense and maybe getting a chance to prove himself worthy. So it was an alley-oop pass from Tony Romo, and it was a big touchdown to get the Cowboys up 24-0 in the second half. We really just built that cushion that set the tone for the rest of the game for them to dominate and control it for the rest of the day and not have to worry too much about St. Louis catching up because they were so far behind. In other matters, Miles Austin did have a minor hamstring tweak, according to some of our insiders at 105 through the fans, specifically Mickey Spagnuolo, and according to him, it isn't that bad, but Miles Austin has had some hamstring problems in the past, very frequently in fact, so that's something you need to keep an eye on if you're a Cowboys fan, is Miles Austin's hamstring. It should be okay, but we'll see. Anthony Spencer did not play today, if I'm not mistaken. He does have a fracture in his leg, and I'm not sure how he's going to come back. I'll get more details on that when I know them. DeMarcus Ware today broke a big record. He got the all-time Cowboys sacks record. He broke Harvey White's 30-year franchise record of 114 sacks. today against the Rams. So kudos to DeMarcus Ware. He's pretty much a surefire Hall of Famer. I don't see how he's not. I mean, just an outstanding player for this team, and a championship for him is long overdue, to be honest with you. So, in terms of, let's go down the list and get some stats from the Rams. The Rams, Sam Bradford had 240 yards. He was 29 for 48 on passing attempts. He had a lot more of his yards in the second half, however. He only had like 13 yards passing in the first half. Like I said, the Cowboys only allowed 18 total yards in the first half. That was just outstanding defensive performance. And coming into the day, Sam Bradford was the third most efficient quarterback in shotgun spread offense, which is the offense that love to run. So, you know, that's a pretty big deal considering how successful he had been in the past. Isaiah Pede led all rushers for St. Louis with 20 yards on 6 carries, only averaging 3.3 yards carry. The Rams had a total of 35 yards rushing on 12 carries. So another good performance for that Cowboys run defense. Last week, yeah, they had a lot of problems with Alex Smith. That's true. Alex Smith was able to run all over them. He was able to get outside the pocket and make them pay. You know, I mean, but he's a very mobile quarterback. He's tough to stop. You know, against Jamal Charles, the Cowboys didn't do that badly. So the Cowboys have had some pretty good success against the run, at least against the running backs, so far this season. And J.J. Wilcox actually had an interception. It was called back because of a block in the back. But honestly, I thought that the defense retained possession upon a turnover if the foul was on the run back. If it was like a pass interference or roughing the passer, something along those lines, illegal contact, holding, then yeah, the ball usually goes back to the offense. But if it was an illegal block in the back call, I guess I'll have to, refresh myself on some of the NFL rules. They might have changed that. But that's how I always thought it was. Anyway, but J.J. Wilcox, the rookie safety, starting today in place of Will Allen against the Rams. And I think mostly what they wanted to do that is they wanted to try him out. They wanted to find a good day to do it. And today was probably the best day to do it against the Rams. Because next week they're going up against Phillip Rivers. And Phillip Rivers, he's had some real problems in the past, but he is a substantially better quarterback than Sam Bradford is. And he can put up some huge numbers. And he's been a top 5, top 10 quarterback in the past. So I think it was a really good day to try out J.J. Wilcox with the Cowboys. And also the Cowboys got a fumble recovery. They missed a field goal, which was unfortunate, but still getting turnovers. That's what this Tampa 2 defense is designed specifically to do, and that's exactly what it's been doing so far this year. They've been able to get turnovers. I believe going down some of the defensive stats, Sean Lee, as pretty much as always, led the Cowboys in tackles with 7. On forced fumbles, give me 1 second here, got it somewhere here. Yeah, I think the Cowboys lost 1 fumble and they caused a fumble. And the same goes for the Rams. Yeah. And Sam Bradford didn't have any interceptions, but except for that one that got called back by the legal block in the back that was intercepted by J.J. Wilcox. So just some very good football from the Cowboys today. Next week they play the Chargers, and then the week after that they play those Denver Broncos. So I think this was a good day to get J.J. Wilcox some experience, to get him integrated in the defense and get him into live full speed play during the regular season, because he's going to be the future at that position for the Cowboys, because Will Allen is a veteran. He's old. He was signed because they had a really big need at that position, and they didn't want to have a rookie safety going into the season starting, at least not J.J. Wilcox. If they would have picked Eric Reed, maybe he would have been starting. He's starting for the Niners, but they didn't want to have him starting. In other news, the Cowboys take sole possession of the NFC East today, because the Redskins lost to the Lions. The Giants got crushed by the Panthers 38-0 in Carolina. And the Eagles lost, obviously, earlier this week in Andy Reid's homecoming to Philadelphia, 26-16 to the Chiefs. So this is a very, very good day for the Cowboys overall. And I have to say, this division is very, very winnable for them this year. I mean, it's been very, very winnable for them the past few years. They just haven't been able to put it together in the last 2 games or so. They've lost it on the last game of the season, the past 2 seasons. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the Cowboys, first of all, if they're going to be able to be consistent with the run game. And if DeMarco Murray's going to be able to stay healthy, because the last 2 seasons, he's had some big injury problems and big durability problems. And as good as he is, that's a big issue for a running back. Durability is so key, because they take hit after hit after hit after hit, because they're touching the ball on every play, and they're going to get hit on every play. So it's going to be interesting to see how if he can stay healthy or not, and if the Cowboys can consistently run the ball. The offensive line did a great job run blocking today, but in the past, they have not done a good job, especially last week. And yeah, it was a good Kansas City defense, but, great offenses, more often than not, beat great defenses. I know they say defense wins championships, but it's very, very hard to stop a great offense, obviously. So the Cowboys have got to continue to be consistent in that balance. They got to have that balance that they had today, and explosiveness that they had today. Otherwise, they're going to have a hard time making the playoffs again. But certainly, things look very good for them. The Redskins are 0-3. The Eagles are 1-2. The Giants are 0-3. And I got some flack for saying that the Giants weren't going to stick in it to the end of the year. Well, that's what I'm talking about. They have an aging offensive line. They have a pretty bad secondary. They don't have great running backs. So, that's what I was talking about when I said the Giants. I didn't think the Giants were going to stay in it for the whole year. If you had DeMarco Murray on your fantasy team, you had a very good day. If you had Dez Bryant on your fantasy team, you had an all-right day. You only had 9 points in fantasy. I'm not sure exactly how many DeMarco Murray had today. It was probably somewhere north of 20 if you're playing ESPN Fantasy Football. And Tony Romo, he had a decent day, so he was probably somewhere close to 20. So it's sort of your fantasy football flash for the Cowboys players. If you had Sam Bradford, you probably had an all-right day. He probably had somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20 points. If you had any of the Rams receivers, I think Austin Pettis did have a pretty solid day. Let me give you his stats real quick. No, actually, Givens was the receiving leader for the Rams. Austin Pettis only had 2 receptions for 20 yards. He just had that touchdown. So I don't know how many people actually started Austin Pettis anyway. But just to review just a recap, final score, 31-7, Cowboys win, total yards. The Rams had 232, the Cowboys had 396. The Cowboys had 210 yards passing, the Rams had 240. The Rams had 35 yards rushing, the Cowboys had 193 as a team. Cowboys and Rams both had 1 turnover, each of them lost a fumble. The interception, with the exception of J.J. Wilcox's interception that got called back because of the illegal block on the back on the return. The other news and notes: the Cowboys take sole possession of the NFC East. They're at 2-1. The Eagles went to 1-2 earlier this week. The Redskins and Giants both went to 0-3 today. The Rams go to 0-3 this season. Tough year for the Rams, obviously. Tough sledding for them. Penalties. The Cowboys had 4 for 72 yards, and the Rams had 5 for 41 yards. Time of possession: the Rams possessed the ball for 24 minutes and 32 seconds, and the Cowboys had it for 33 minutes and 28 seconds. So, again, a very good day defensively for the Cowboys. Very good day running the football. DeMarco Murray was outstanding. And a good day for Tony Romo. He didn't make many mistakes. He handled the game well. And honestly, just a very good day in general for the Cowboys, taking first place and winning this game today. So, with all of that, this has been your post-game report for the Skylights on sportsblog.com. I am Sky Norris, and I hope you watch the video. Obviously, I want to ask the question I have for you for this post is, what do you think the Cowboys will do for the rest of the season? And who's your pick for the NFC East? And for the Rams fans out there, what do you think? What changes do you think need to be made to the Rams for them to get better, for them to be more successful? Do you think it's a coaching change, or a change in quarterback? I don't know. Sam Bradford's looking better. He's not, an elite quarterback by any means, obviously, but he is getting better. So, just what changes do you think need to be made for the Rams? And what's your prediction for the NFC East? And what's your prediction for the Cowboys season? So with that, I'm Sky Norris, and I appreciate you watching again. This post will be on my YouTube channel. It's the Skylights on YouTube, and I will get around to making that Twitter and Facebook page. I've had a little bit of difficulty making a Facebook page. I haven't quite got around to the Twitter page yet, but I will be making those, and all my posts will be tweeted there and on my personal Twitter page at Sky Norris. And also, just as a reminder, another question: what is you guys' feeling on the Emmys? Who do you think should win? And the major categories. So with that, I'm Sky Norris, bringing and I brought you your live post-game report for the Skylights at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Again, the Cowboys win 31-7. And thank you for watching. This is Sky Norris for the Skylights.